The best soccer players in the world ooze with confidence. Think about it. Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, all of these individuals have a certain swagger about them that when they walk into performances, you can tell with their body language alone that they're going to crush it. You just know that they're on. You just know that they're ready. They look it. And if you want to be one of the best like them one day, you have to understand that you need to learn how to build the swagger as well. So in today's video, I'm going to give you the 6 steps that we follow with our professional soccer players to help them build their confidence and their swagger walking into performances. And if you follow the 6-step framework as well, I'm guaranteeing you're going to get the same results. Hey, Matt Calderoni here, co-founder of Molliteum, where we help athletes discover and reach their true potential by building their resilience. And since 2015, we've helped just over 5,300 athletes ranging from the youth to professional level in leagues such as the MLS, NBA, NFL, NHL, and so many more. Now, the reason I started this channel is because I used to be a pro footballer myself at one time, and I struggled with this side of performance. So we're going to make sure that you don't do the same. Now, diving right into it, we actually need to make a distinction right off the bat. So many times, footballers come to us talking about how they need to build their confidence, when the truth is, it's really not confidence they need to build, it's actually certainty. Hear me out on this. Confidence is knowing that you can get the result based on the skills that you have because you've gotten results in the past. Now, here's the thing. If you think of these great footballers like Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe, they too started at one point where they didn't get the results before in the past. They didn't have those references to say, hey, I'm actually good at this thing. They had something else, and that was certainty. They trusted their skills. They had that self-belief in the skills they possessed so that they could have the courage they needed to take action and eventually build their confidence. So what you need to realize is today, we're actually going to focus on the things to help you build your certainty so that you can eventually develop confidence, because confidence comes later on. What really sticks with you, though, if you think of any of these great footballers, they are certain about themselves. That's what allows them to have that body language, that swagger, that trust in their skills so they can go out there in performance and crush it. Now, to better understand certainty, here's what you need to realize. This is called the momentum square, and it's something that the great Tony Robbins came up with, and it goes like this. Every athlete starts with potential. We all have potential. But what unleashes that potential is you taking action. And the bigger actions that you take, the better results that you get. And the better results that you get, the more certainty and self-belief that you have within yourself. Now, if you're like any of the pro footballers that we work with, chances are you're not tapping that full potential yet. What's happening is you're taking action, but you're taking hesitant action. And when you take hesitant action, you don't tap into that full potential. You get compromised results. And because of that, your certainty and your self-belief goes down. So what ends up happening is you tap into less potential the next time because you're taking even more hesitant actions, getting smaller results, and as a result of that, your certainty keeps going down. This is what happens when we get into what's called negative momentum or when you go into a slump. Now, to reverse this, it's not that we have to build more potential. You already have that. It's not that we have to take bigger actions because you can't take bigger action when you're hesitant. And it's not just focusing on the results. Instead, it's actually about your certainty and self-belief, because when your certainty and self-belief is higher, that trust in your skills, you're going to tap into all the potential you need because you're going to take actions without hesitating because you trust yourself. And as a result of that, even though you might not have gotten the results before, you're going to be able to get them going forwards because you have the courage now to try new things. Now, with these 6 steps, we actually look at it like a little pyramid. So like you can see here, we're going to start with first understanding exactly what situation you need to build certainty in. We're going to then break it down into 1 to 2 skills. We're then going to make sure that you're visualizing it. We're then going to make sure that you're physically practicing it. We're then going to make sure that you're putting the film study into it. And then we're going to make sure that you have a laser focus to activate it. And at the very top of this little pyramid, you then have your certainty that gets built as a result. So the 6 steps to follow to do this are actually very simple. Now, we actually created a PDF to make this even simpler for you, which you can download below. Just click the link, enter your email, and follow along. So let's get started. The 6 steps that we follow with our pro footballers to build their confidence on the field. Step number 1, you have to understand which situation you want to build certainty in. Now, this is a major distinction because what most footballers don't do is nail down the specific situation that's giving them problems or what they're struggling with. What they do is they generalize. So for example, it's like, well, I've got to get better at dribbling. It's like, you're probably actually all right at dribbling, most of you, but where you really need to build that certainty is when you're dribbling, facing a defender coming at you head on, and you need to find a way to get around them. That's a specific situation, not just dribbling. So the first step that you need to take is you need to understand the specific situation that's causing you to question yourself. For example, when I played, I was a goalkeeper. So one of the situations that I had to build more certainty behind was crosses. I was always hesitant to go up for a cross and collect the ball because I was worried I was going to get injured, my ribs were going to get hit, something of the sort. So I had to make sure to train that specific situation. So step number one, before we go into anything, get very clear right now and understand what specific situation you need to focus on in order to build your certainty behind. Step number two, you need to break that specific situation down into skills that you can work on. Here's the truth. Certainty comes from working on specific skills. That's the goal here that we're trying to get after. Confidence comes from getting results in situations. So, in this simple little formula, like you can see here, we first must build the certainty in your skills, then add in the performance environment when we're training it, then you will have the confidence to take action. It's that simple. So here's how we start. Understand what skills go into you being successful with that specific situation. So this is an example from an MLS player that we're actually working with right now. And one of his biggest challenges at the start of this past season was receiving a ball with a defender on his back from his defender. He's actually a central defensive mid, so he's the holding mid, and he's the playmaker who's always coming back, receiving balls, and he has a player on his back. The problem with that situation, though, is that he wasn't super confident with his first touch to turn and go make a pass. So we broke that situation down to saying, hey, there's two skills that go into this. Number one, it's receiving the ball with pressure on your back. And number two, it's actually your first touch turn. So notice how that situation now has two things he can specifically work on. You need to find the same. So all you're going to do right now, follow along in the PDF, answer the next question. What 1 to 2 skills do you need to break this down into? So now that you have those 1 to 2 skills you need to actually build certainty behind, the first thing that you must do in order to build certainty the quickest way is visualizing. Now, the reason that visualizing works so well is because you actually can have perfect practice in your mind. And there's so much research to back this up of pro athletes who've been using visualization, like the great Kobe Bryant or even Michael Jordan in the NBA. But the truth is this, visualizing allows you to build neural associations within your nervous system. That feeling of don't think when it comes to game time, that's what this does. And your body actually doesn't know the difference between physical practice and mental practice if you're doing it with the right intensity and emotion behind it. So here's how you're going to understand how to visualize these skills. So if you're like our MLS player, there's 3 tiers that you need to visualize, and we're going to do 3 sets of 10 reps. So each of these you're going to visualize 10 times. The first one being the basic technique, that you can trust your skills and the basic technique behind those skills again. The second thing is the thing that's giving you the biggest challenge going into performances with that skill or that situation. And the third thing is the final result. So when we did this with our MLS player, we took the 2 skills that he was visualizing. We said, okay, what's the most basic thing that we need to visualize with a simple technique? He goes, Matt, no pressure on me. I just need to see myself receiving the ball and turning to my right with perfection. Great. So that was the basic technique. Stack number 2, which is where we have the challenge. He goes, okay, the thing that's giving me the challenge is when I can feel a defender on me, maybe he's got an arm on me or something, and I'm running back with pressure on me and I need to turn. So I'm going to visualize myself having that defender on me, running back with pressure, I'm getting a pass and I'm making that perfect turn to my right so I can turn out and feed my winger. So it's like, okay, great, we can now visualize the challenge. And then it's like, okay, the last step is to visualize this actually happening in a game. You're actually going to put yourself into a state of mind to see what's going on in the game. And what this MLS player did, goes, hey, I've got to pretend there's fans around me and so on. I've got to see myself in the middle of a game with the defender on my back, checking back, receiving the ball, turning out, making the pass, and then it hits my winger and we go. Notice how there's a progression though. It's basic technique, you add the challenge, and then you add the game environment. That's how this works. Now, all we're doing is visualizing this 5 times a week. And to make this simple for you so that you don't have to, sit in a corner quietly and let your mind wander, there's actually a link down below for our Mental Reps audio track that we use with all of our pro footballers. All you need to do is click it, enter your email, and you'll get the same track that they have. You listen to this 5 times a week, do it before bed so it gets into your subconscious mind, and simply visualize what you just wrote on your PDF page. It's that simple. So right now, fill out those questions that are in the PDF and make sure you have your 3 sets of 10 reps that you can follow. Step number 4, you now need to practice this skill daily. So all you're going to do now is take those 3 scenarios that you're visualizing and put it into physical practice. You're actually going to go practice it each day. You can do it before practice or after practice, and you need to allot 5 to 10 minutes daily to each specific scenario. So if you're like our MLS player, what you're going to do is 5 to 10 minutes worth of just simply checking back, receiving the ball, turning to your right, and making the pass. The second set's going to then be a defender on your back, you're checking back, you're turning to the right and making the pass. And then you're going to do the last one at game intensity, where you're checking back, players on your back, you receive the ball, turn to your right, and you make the pass. Notice the progression though. So what we would do is, on days that he didn't have training, we would do 10 minutes each. On days that he did have training, we would do 5 minutes each, naturally because training makes you tired. I suggest doing this work either before or after practice. If you're alone, go to a field, get it done, but do not use during practice times to work on these skills. You need specific focused practice or you won't trust the skill itself. So all you need to do for this is simply understand what times to commit each day to taking action on this. So fill out the PDF, make sure that you have the times that you're committing to this. Step number 5 is that you need to study your role models and watch film on these skills now. So this is a very simple one. All you're going to do is take the 1 to 2 skills that you're working on so you can get better in that situation. You're going to find one role model who's already doing it right at the professional level. This could be somebody that you watched growing up as a kid. This could be somebody who's currently playing right now, but somebody who mastered this skill, and you're going to watch how they did it. What this is going to do is also train your subconscious, and it's going to help you understand what changes you need to make to your game. The little details, if you take care of them, are ultimately what allow you to have swagger. So if you think about it, these great athletes, these great footballers, the Messis, Ronaldos, Mbappes, they're constantly studying themselves to see how they're doing things and getting better at it. You don't need to watch your own film, but you need a role model, someone who's already successful, already above you, that you can study, watch, and master this with. So all you're going to do for this, understand which role model you need to watch and understand specifically which skill you're watching for. Now, the final step to this all is building a laser focus. A laser focus is what's going to allow you to take all that work you did throughout the week and focus it in and put the right attention into it. Because oftentimes we have footballers that come to us and they do all the right work throughout the week, but on game days, they're not focused on what they need to do in order to dominate. Think about it. If you think of a light bulb, a 100-watt light bulb, it has the same energy that a laser beam would to actually cut through a piece of material. The thing is this though, the light bulb has a light that's all over the place. A laser beam has specific, concentrated, focused light, and that's what allows it to cut through something. You need that laser-like focus. In fact, I was talking to one of my good friends, Nuno Santos. He's the goalkeeper coach for AS Roma. And he goes, Matt, we do all this work throughout the week, but on game days, I go up to my goalkeepers, I grab them from behind the neck, I press their head against mine, forehead to forehead, and I say 3 things to them. Concentration, concentration, concentration. And I said, why do you do that? Because he said, the only thing that's standing in the way of my goalkeepers crushing it in performance is concentration. We've done all the work. They just need to focus now. So what you need to do is what pro footballers do. In fact, Cristiano Ronaldo was talking about this in his Juventus documentary. And he goes, I just focus on the one task in front of me, and then I move on to the next one. That's how I do things. You need to do the same. So the best footballers in the world focus on the one task ahead or one rep at a time. And all you're going to do for this, you're going to take the 1 to 2 actions that you're focused on in performance, and you're going to add an intention to it. The intention is what makes it a laser focus. So for example, with our MLS player, we weren't just having him check back, receive the ball, turn and pass. Instead it was attack the ball, turn quick. When you do those 2 things, it allows you to have more intent behind your action, and you're taking that light bulb and zooming it in. And then all he was doing was focusing 1 rep at a time and doing that better and better and better every single rep. So all game long, all you need to think about is your 1 to 2 focuses, right? Attack the ball, turn quick. That's all that this guy was doing. Attack the ball, turn quick. Attack the ball, turn quick. And he actually had one of the highest pass completion ratios in the entire MLS, as well as one of the best tackling ratios in the MLS because we use the same tactic with him. So to recap this all, let's look at this really quick. So let's pretend that you have a game on Sunday and you're doing all the work starting from Monday through Saturday. So here's how it would look like. You can see here. From Monday through Saturday, all you're going to be doing is focus on building your certainty or swagger. You're going to do your mental reps, practice, film study, and have your laser focuses going into practices every day of the week. Then on game days, all you need to worry about is your laser focus. That's it. That's how we do it with our pros. That's the way that you activate everything. Like I said with AS Roma there, concentration, concentration, concentration on game days. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe, click the notification bell. It helps us grow this channel and allows us to keep bringing you free content. If you want to work with us, you can click the link down below and apply to work with one of our coaches in a one-on-one setting. We do only accept application basis only, and we do only take on 2 athletes per week. Now, if you want to work on this on your own, that's great as well. There's a link to our Molliteum Pocket Coach down below. And simply put, if you just want to be a part of our newsletter, it's also linked there too. But tell me what you think. Did this help you? Did this bring some clarity for you? I'm telling you, if you want to have that oozing swagger, this is what you need to do. This is what we do with our pro footballers. It's what works with all of them. We had one individual go to the MLS Cup final this year. We had one who was one of the top midfielders across the league. Point is though, this works. So let us know if you're actually going to take action on it. Comment swagger down below. And if we did miss anything, let us know. We're here to help you out. And of course, if you want to check out more videos that can help with something like this, we have a bunch here. They're on the screen. Just click them, take action, and we'll see you in the next one. So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the full podcast episode, click right here.